do me a favor, subscribe to my channel.
Hey everyone, Kyle here from Poseidon's Pets. So I've had some exciting things happen and I wanted to share it with you guys. So if you haven't already, go ahead and watch my previous video. I'll link it up here. Somewhere up there. So like I said, some exciting stuff has happened, so stick around and we'll get right to it. Wait. Before we go anywhere, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, leave me a comment down below. Did you get anything fish related for Christmas, Hanukkah, all that stuff? So leave me a comment, let me know what you got. So thank you for watching and we'll get to it. All right everyone, so if you have just watched my previous video or you were watching last week, you know that my Corydoras catfish had laid eggs and I had scraped them off to try to hatch them and raise them. So if you can see that, they have hatched, they are doing great. They have tripled in size since they've hatched out of their eggs. I'm super excited for this. They're definitely growing very well. I've been feeding them crushed pellets that I put in my food processor, ground it up into a real fine powder. I mix it with water, shake it up, and I dump it in there. And then I've also been feeding them cooked egg yolks. So I'll do the same thing. I'll take a little pinch of the egg yolk, throw that in the water, shake it up real good so that way it's kind of a liquid food. I pour it straight into the breeder net so that way the little bits get stuck in the net. They can kind of feed on it when they want to. So this was a secondary experiment that you didn't get to see in my first video. So in my first video, I showed you that tub that I set up for the eggs to hatch. And in my research, I saw most people were just hatching them in mason jars. So what I wanted to do was set up this as kind of an experiment to see how this went. And this is just in the main tank. I scraped the eggs off, threw them in this breeder net, and waited to see what happened. After 4 days, they all hatched, started swimming around. I did have this plastic piece here. There was another part that went around the perimeter on the bottom. And they were kind of getting stuck up in there. So what I did was I transferred them to a separate container and then I took that bottom part out. So that way they couldn't get trapped in there. They could kind of just float around in here and not have anywhere that they could get stuck. I didn't want anybody to get sandwiched and die. But from what I can tell, I haven't had any deaths. Looking in there, I don't see any dead bodies. I don't see any dead fish. They're all swimming around pretty happy and healthy. So definitely excited to see how this goes and to give you guys the update on this, because this is my first time with Cory eggs and trying to hatch them. So definitely excited how it turned out. I do want to give you an update on the tub, so we'll cut to that real quick so you guys can see that as well. What I'm going to do after this is I've got another tank that I'm going to set up separate for these guys. So as you guys can see here, I still have the heater in there, a couple pieces of cholla wood for the biofilm to grow. That way the fish have something to feed on, as well as just a simple air stone. I have done one water change so far. It's been about 10 days since I started this. There is a little bit of waste buildup in there that I want to get removed, so I'm going to have to go ahead and take care of that. I want to give you guys an update on the fry that are in here so that way you can see how they've been doing compared to the community tank and this separate container that I set up. And I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this compared to the breeder net, because this is a little bit more of a far view than the other. And already I can see that I do have one dead one in there. So that is not something I want to see, and you can tell that, this isn't, I'm not trying to hide anything with this experiment. This is ongoing for me and definitely a learning experience. I've never done this before. And I know all the ones in the breeder box have survived, so that's definitely good. And if you look, all these guys here, they're all alive and well. And it does look like I've got another dead one here. So I may have to do something with this as far as separating these guys out and putting them in a different container. I'm wondering if that maybe I've got just too much food waste. There's an ammonia buildup. I haven't tested this water, So that is unfortunate to see. And of course, you know, something like that's gonna show up when I do these videos. Definitely feel bad for those little guys. But I am glad that there are quite a few in here that are still surviving. So as long as the rest of these guys are doing good, I may separate them out and I may put them in that breeder net with the rest of the other ones. We'll see how it goes and I'll keep you guys updated. Hey, thank you so much for watching, guys. You know, I am upset that we did lose a couple of them in that storage tub. You know, I didn't know what to expect. This was my first time doing it, and you know, I've raised fish in a breeder net before, so that, to me, that made sense. But to set them up in a separate container like this, to just get the airflow going, and ideally, you know, you want to have a cycle tank that is ready to go for any type of animal that you're going to be putting in it, because that ammonia is going to build up. And you know, it's probably my fault from overfeeding, because I haven't raised fry that are that small. I'm probably feeding them way more than they need to be, and I was afraid to do any type of waste removal in there for fear of sucking the babies up. So it's kind of a balance, you know. Do I take the waste out and possibly suck them up? And I didn't know what to do with it. So it's definitely a learning experience, and you know, I'm not perfect. So I'm glad to be able to do this and learn from it, because I do have a lot of knowledge in this hobby, but there are some things that I haven't dabbled with, I haven't really done. I'm definitely excited to bring you guys on this journey with me as far as raising these fry and seeing where they go from there. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. You know, that really does help me out, and enjoy the rest of your day.